They'll blanket you in Wi-Fi and profit off the radiation. Congregation collecting the people for that Satan. I keeps it blazing, cause I can read between the lines. I ain't blind, we unwind what they're really saying. Genetically modify what you're tasting. Don't need that cottage promise, so now you live up in your mom's basement. Redesign time so your mind is always wasted. Programmed to crave the basics. Keep the beta in stasis. Pay the state, kid. You're in debt for being born. Messengers are more than just the price for being warned. Don't be alarmed, disconnect from their machinations. Stop subscribing to the folly of own nations. Bone breaking ain't the answer, cause they seek the ownership of souls. Spread the seeds and watch them grow. Break the chains of control. Break the chains of control.
Sweet eternal balance of all that is good, true, and beautiful, friends. Welcome to your random meditation time. Today is a full moon in Aquarius, according to sidereal true astrology. So if you're not familiar with that, please go to Mastering the Zodiac with Athen Commenti and check out what true sidereal is. Right now, according to true sidereal, the full moon is in Aquarius, and so this is happening at 6 a.m. this morning here, so we're a little bit past the peak of the full moon, but you know those full moon energies were definitely rolling deep last night for me and yesterday and then throughout today. So we're going to do a quick meditation focusing in on some of the energies that are associated with that according to the alignments and what's going on. I went outside last night to look at the moon, and I just snapped a quick picture, you know, and sometimes moon pictures are very strange. They're just like bright light that's like unfocused, or sometimes you can actually get the moon, and it just depends on your photographic skills and, for me, what my phone's doing at any given moment. So I snapped this picture, and I went inside and looked, and I realized I had caught two planets in the picture, and the two planets were Jupiter and Neptune. I went and looked, and I found out which planets were over there by the moon. It was Jupiter and it was Neptune, and I was like, well, that's so fortuitous and cool. So I shared this beautiful picture. It's in Locals, if you want to go to rogue.locals.com and check it out. And then I proceeded to go to bed, and yet I didn't go to bed. And so this is what I do when I'm in bed and I cannot fall asleep. I'm like, let's use this time. Let's do some meditation. Let's do some visualizations. Let's, go traveling. What better use of our time when we're asleep? And by the way, if you're noticing that I seem to have a lot of energy today and be really bright, that's because of a new protocol I'm on to heal Epstein-Barr virus, which I've discovered I have and have had my whole life, and I can trace it throughout my life. And I just wrote a piece about it. It's up on rogueways.org. It's the newest post and writing if you want to read about my journey with that and how I'm already starting to experience pretty profound healing just from the protocols that I've found in Healing Your Thyroid by Anthony Williams. Anyways, I might do I'm sure I'll do a whole episode on that. It's been pretty profound, but that's up there. And so how did I get to even saying that to you? I don't know. What I meant to tell you about is while I was laying in bed, reflecting and traveling and going deep, I had some really profound and powerful meditations. And I always try to explain to people, they're like, how do you do this? And how do you do? I just make the time and I make the space, and then things happen. I don't go seeking specific outcomes. I don't go seeking specific experiences. I just, kind of lay back and I get in touch with myself and I go inside. And as you know, I tell you this every single episode I've ever done, to look inside first, and I mean it. Go inside and look and see what you find there. Well, while I was rolling deep in this inner space, I was approached by another being or intelligence or entity or whatever you want to call these. And I always ask, and you should always ask if you ever have these experiences, are you here for my highest good, truth, and beauty? Are you aligned with my highest vision for myself and my highest goodness, truth, and beauty? And if they don't respond, or they shake their head, or they say no, you kick them out. You say to them, leave, get away from me. You don't have to apologize. You don't have to feel bad. Just go away. You're in my space and you don't belong here. And if they say yes or not, or indicate that they are, then high five them and see what they have to share with you. Well, this was my first ever encounter with what appears to be a mantis creature. And it's interesting. I have no preconceived notions about what mantis beings are like, but I know I've heard people talk about it before. I know I have. I just have not recalled the specific everybody has their ideas, like the blue avians or this and the da-da-da and the Pleiadians. I assume that every category of being has good, bad, and neutral beings within that category, just like here on Earth, the physical dimension. But this mantis being, I asked it what's going on, like what's up, what are you here for, what do you have to share, what do you need from me, and he was like, oh, I'm gonna help you readjust some of your memories. And he's like, I'm doing this, however, in order so that your future can be even bigger and brighter and better. And I was like, awesome, like thank you, gratitude, love. And he went through like a file system in my brain, and I just was sitting there letting him do this, and they were all these messages I had carried throughout my life of negativity, of illness, of not being loved, and of other negative messages. And we give ourselves these messages, we internalize them, we receive them from outside, and we put them inside of ourselves, and we believe them, and they do damage even from the past, right? So he was doing me this huge favor of like sifting through and finding all of these and just updating them like way quicker than I ever could have, way more profoundly than probably therapy that I have done and other sorts of time travel healing that I have done with myself. Just a huge blessing. And I felt all these things shifting. And the amazing thing to me was then I started to see my future more clearly and the ways that it was shifting. And yesterday I actually took advantage of these energies of the full moon, and I made a new sort of dream and vision, and I write and I sketch and I do all of this symbolic stuff, and I put it all together in this sort of package that is my future vision. This is part of the way that I do manifestation for myself. And if you've heard my stories of the past, it works amazingly. So in this vision, while he was doing this and I was seeing that my future was also being updated, it was in perfect alignment with that vision I had just created earlier. I saw the same places I had manifested and the same experiences I had manifested, but also, and really interestingly, I saw interpersonal relationships shifting because those negative messages were now out of the way. And so I no longer had to continue to try and like project them or receive them from other sources we all do this, but to reinforce them. We have to reinforce those beliefs, even if they're old, those messages. We have to find them again in real life and say, see, look, this message is real. So we're really creating our own harm and our own interpersonal hardships and our own illnesses in these ways. So really, really fascinating experience, really beautiful, such a huge blessing, and super aligned with these full moon energies. So I just wanted to share that with you because it's so aligned with what we're going to do here today in this meditation. And that's because in this meditation today, we're going to use the full moon energy, right? Which is the fullness of all of this love and life. And it carries forward. The full moon is the fullest time, right? And we can set our attentions, and it goes all the way to the new moon, where we can create a new intention and a new set of energies. So that's weeks, right? That this power can be functioning in our life. And it brings us all that creative ability, and especially with our dreams, visions, and emotions, the moon just kind of holds those energies with us. So it pulls on our watery emotions, as we all know, and it heightens them and really energizes them. And then it also carries this sort of visionary, sometimes illusory, but sometimes just visionary quality. Well, awesomely, so does Aquarius, right? Full moon in Aquarius, and Aquarius is all about the future and dreaming big and like really going forward and making this improvements and progression happen. Sometimes technologically, but sometimes just as it is. And so that's an amazing energy to pair with this full moon energy. Then we have Jupiter, which is all about expansive, big, giving, happy, jovial, like energy. Wow. So we have that going along with it too. And then finally, I'm throwing in Neptune just because I snapped that picture last night and Neptune was right there. And it also pairs perfectly. It's just like the moon. It has the deep emotional, sometimes the hidden emotional and subconscious, which is like that mantis creature was going in to find all the hidden stuff and update it with me, right? So that's very Neptunian. And sometimes that hidden imagination that we have, which, like I said, sometimes is negative. Sometimes we have this projection we're doing. We're like, well, this is my belief. This is my imagination about what's going on. And so I have to find it in the world around me to reinforce it. So knowing all that, we're going to really go deep, and we're going to visualize our future self and our future life exactly as we want. So be imagining already what is it that you want to project forward, and what is it that you want to manifest, and which of the infinite timelines of you do you want to call forth into your experience, and see it, right? So what is it? Is it a different house? Is it a different place? Is it a different job? Is it the same house and place and job, but like bigger and better and bolder and more beautiful? Is it your health? Is it your family? Is it the people you want to find? Is it this collaboration you want to create? Be thinking about what it is you want to create in this journey we're going to do. And the feeling of it. Why? How does that make you feel, right? You want to be able to feel that. Does it make you feel joyful? Does it make you feel relief? Like, oh, thank God. Thank God. Like, I've been struggling so hard and I'm going to have this relief. Relief is a powerful emotion to add to this mix. So is it joy? Is it relief? Is it just connection? Is it depth? Is it healing? What is the feeling that you want to attach to this and use to help manifest it? So be thinking of those things. And be thinking of the things you are not aware of consciously that are hidden down there as messages that we can find and remove. You don't know them, right? We can't identify them necessarily, but what might they look like? What might you imagine them as? So here we go. We're going to get some beautiful energy going here. So I am going to close my eyes. You can close your eyes if you want. When we breathe, we don't breathe with force. We just breathe with gentleness, but we also want to fill up completely and have our Buddha belly expand, and we want to blow out completely too, and kind of almost push, but just, make sure we're breathing out completely. No force, just gentle, allowing the air and the movement to occur. So I'm closing my eyes, and I just bring my inner vision to inside my head. It's often all around us on everything but ourselves. We have so much to do, so many places to be, all these things going on. We're thinking of the future and the past and all that, and it's all around us, but we're bringing back now, with every breath, deeper into our own body. So our imagination has turned inward, and we can notice where we're at and how we feel. And everything about being right here, right now. And we're going to breathe in full Buddha breaths and breathe in all the light and the goodness that is always around us. And breathe out, letting go, fully breathing out. Anything that doesn't serve us is meant to go. And every breath we take during this meditation will have that same effect, where we bring in refreshing source, creative energy to rejuvenate and uplift. And we're going to be blowing out with every full breath out all that is stagnant and is ready to go. Doesn't belong here anymore. Take a couple more deep breaths, expanding your Buddha belly, filling up with that light, and breathing out completely, letting go of any stress or blockage. And now when we breathe in, we can see that big, beautiful light that has been feeding us. This breath light that we're breathing in is the full moon above us. We can see the full moon so big and so bright and so loving. And only the good, true, and beautiful energy of the moon could ever come into us, because we are good, true, and beautiful, and we are protected in this space. So we feel free to breathe in that light, and we give thanks and love to the moon for this imaginative, emotional, beautiful fullness that we can feel within us and expand into, and really take and put to our advantage, to our growth, to our future self, and to even diving deep in updating some past energies. So we give thanks to the moon for that, and every breath we bring in that light, and every breath out we let go of more that does not belong in our energy body. And we look down and we see we're next to a big pool of dark water because it's night and the moon is shining bright. The water is still deep and dark. And this beautiful pool of reflection next to us sparkles in the moonlight. And we're gonna just realize that we have a fishing pole. We're gonna see our fishing pole and hold it in our hand. It's already reeled and ready to go. We're just gonna cast it out and let it fall wherever it needs to in this pool. And as the line sinks down, we know that it is going to catch exactly what we need it to, which is any of our negative beliefs, negative and limiting messages from the past. We're going to snag a few of those up like they were seaweed at the bottom and reel them in and just pull them right out. And when they come out, however they look, we just know that we don't need those anymore. We give them thanks for whatever they served. We'll just put them next to the lake there. Just pull them off the hook and put them next to us. Some happy creature will come along and eat them. We're doing good work here. It's so relaxing and beautiful with this full moonlight shining down, and this beautiful lake beside us is so peaceful and reflective. And we're going to throw our line back out again. It's going to land wherever it needs to. And that line's going to sink down. And it's again going to catch up some more of those negative messages. Anything that told us we didn't belong, or weren't good enough, or didn't have enough, or couldn't do it, or that we were sick, or weak, or broken, or couldn't heal, any of those limiting beliefs, just catch them up. And it catches them so easily and just pulls them right up as we reel in some more of those. And we feel the clarification happening in our body right here and right now, in our mind right here and right now, and in our soul right here and right now. We pull them up and we just take them off the hook gently and easily and just set them to the side. They're food for something else now. They don't belong here anymore. And one more time, we're going to cast that out again. It's going to land right where it needs to. Plopping through the surface and sinking down and catching all the negative messages that we didn't even know were there. The deepest ones that come from the farthest back and that limit us. And we're going to reel those in just so easily they come out. They come right out because they know they don't belong anymore. And we pull them right out. And we see them hanging on that hook. And we reach up and grab them off so easily and just put them right beside us. What a beautiful fishing pole we had. Thank you to the fishing pole, to the placement, to the removal of all those weeds that really cleared up so much energy and so much of our mind and consciousness. And we breathe in that new freedom, that expansive, beautiful feeling that we can now do even more, even better, and go even further than we could before. Things are even easier. They fall into alignment even better. And our ultimate destiny is even easier to obtain. And we look into the surface of this pool, and we see that it's not just the moon and ourselves reflected there, but that we can start to see the outlines of what comes in the future. And you already know what comes in the future. It is the best version of the highest vision that you hold for yourself and the world. Look into the surface of the lake and start to see how that looks. Where are you? What's around you in that future reflection? What types of things are coming towards you? What types of new joys do you get to experience? See the shapes, see the colors, hear the sounds if there are any. Is it a new place? Is it a new job? Is it a new economic experience? Is it a flourishing of your skills and abilities? Is it the path in which those come into fruition and are shared with others more easily and more abundantly and more profitably for you? Do you feel relief at finally obtaining these things? Do you feel the joy? Do you feel the pride in yourself that you made it that far? Do you feel the goodness and health pulsing through your body? Do you feel the love and connection to all the people that share this experience with you? Do you see them there and feel how good it feels? Sit for a few breaths with that vision reflected in this lake. Feel how much more strongly connected you are now to that path, and how, like magnets, you are pulling each other. From the past you cleared out, from the blockages you removed from the path, and from the beauty and feeling of this vision that you hold, you are attracted to one another. Reach down into that pool and tap that vision and send those ripples and make that connection, you with it. And with that little bit of water you tapped, just place it on your forehead, on your third eye. Tap it in there. Breathe deeply. Give thanks to this lake of vision and cleanliness and open pathways. Give thanks to that bright light of the moon empowering everything you do in this space. Give thanks and love to yourself for all this beautiful work you have done here. Breathe deep and be in the center of your mind or your body. And release. Open your eyes. Come back to the here and now. Always feels so good to relax and do these visualizations with you. I mentioned it before, but I do not plan these out really ahead of time. I kind of know the energies because they've been strong with me around that time. And then I just sit and channel forward whatever comes through. And so this was really a joint effort between what all of you need and could experience and how deep you could go and what comes through. And I'm so grateful to be able to be present enough to have that come through for all of us. I know that it empowers my own growth and journey more deeply, and I know that it empowers your own growth and journey more deeply. And in connection like this, it makes it even more powerful. So know that you can repeat this anytime you want. If you want to go right now and go sit under the moon, or go tonight and sit under the moon and do the exact same thing or something similar, this is now yours. You own it. You can do whatever you want with it. You can modify it however you like. And just remember that it is a time of going deep and removing the blockages that we've created in our past, the messages that we have that we hold true inside of ourselves and maybe aren't even aware of, and let those go. Let the expansiveness and the joy of the beauty of the future call you into being exactly what you've envisioned for yourself, and let that beautiful full moon guide you through it all, and just give love and thanks and gratitude to all those energies that help you do that, but mostly to yourself, because you're a badass rogue warrior and you're saving all of yourself and all of the world. No pressure. So I will see you guys tonight on the episode. We've got Emily Atwood coming in with some ancestral trauma clearing again. It's always an awesome time with Emily, and if you've been there before, you know, if you're live with Emily, she may even do some specific clearing for you. for free, which is a beautiful gift she offers every time she comes on Rogue Ways. And it's always powerful for all of us who are there together live, and probably even for those of us who are hearing it later. But anyways, I hope to see you guys there tonight, and I've got some awesome episodes coming up with you for the coming weeks too, with Wayne McRoy is finally returning to Rogue Ways. It's been so long. I have this habit of, just barreling forward and forgetting my friends. And so it'll be really awesome to catch up with Wayne again, and we've got just some really cool stuff coming up. So I will see you guys tonight, and until then, travel well, aim for balance, and always look inside first. Mwah.
I heard the man, they at it again, and I'm out to tell the truth once more. That's right. It's on the cracking, unknown in the house. APOGZ, that's right. Hitting the stereo near you. Truth is the best thing, and it's on. Yo, I once thought that I wanted to get Denver on track, but there's something more bigger than that. Something lurking, waiting to blow this state right off the map. A hidden agenda related to September. Doves carved up on the wall next to the highway. Up in the concrete while rolling home next to where I stay. With state's destruction, like Key Martin malfunction. While NORAD's in a mountain anticipating our next move. My heart's jumping and I'm like, fuck waiting. While crooked taxes are burning a hole in my pocket. With $1 bill in the pyramid that's watching. Instead of having a capstone on top of it, they have an eye with a fast surprise while you're flossing it. Greedy niggas jocking it, politics plotting it. So who you vote for really doesn't mean shit. So save your energy from being drained by the enemy. Skull and bones of Freemasonry, envisioning dreams of them chasing me. Skull and bones of Freemasonry, envisioning dreams of them chasing me. Skull and bones of Freemasonry, secret agencies with a plan to dominate all of man. Check the records at DIA, strange murals and paintings similar to the ones next to the highway. With pyramids and flames underneath them looking like they're about to fly away. I can't be tripping, but it sounds like I'm on acid. Most people slipping, taken below DIA, held captive in the near future, where they won't hesitate to reinstate new laws for a bigger cause. I'm talking about established civilian